Hello, guys. Welcome back to Deniz.Talks.Football. I know it's been a while since the last video. I've been busy. Obviously, the scenery has changed a bit in the background as well. But today's video is going to be a different type of video. It's not just going to be me talking to the camera. It's going to be me ranking the summer transfer window now that the transfers have all been conducted. No more here we goes. No more Ornstein daggers. And I'm really excited to see what these transfers are able to do. So, without wasting any more time, let's get straight into ranking these transfers. So I'm using the Tier Maker website here. Obviously a really good website. You got most of the transfers of relevance that have happened over the 25-26 transfer window. Some big transfers. It was a really chaotic year this year. If you weren't checking your phone every 5 minutes, you were falling behind. And that really is something that I've never had before personally. But I do see some coaches in this. I'm not going to do coaches. I'm just going to do players because mostly I'm not really familiar with too many of these coaches as well. Um, for example, the Roma coach. But let's get straight into it. So first, obviously, we got Trent Alexander-Arnold here. Um, I do think that Trent will be a great impact for the team, but I don't really see him as a right back. I don't really see him as a midfielder. It's kind of tricky where I'm going to see Trent as a player. It's really interesting to see how he fits into this Real Madrid side from being born and bred in Liverpool, Liverpool Red, and they're playing Liverpool in the Champions League as well. So it's going to be a really big test for him. I don't think it's a bad signing, but he hasn't even played the past two games, I think, or the first game. He was on the bench. And the Club World Cup, he was all right. I wasn't really too impressed with this type of caliber of a signing many people hold him as the best right back in the world. So I will put this as a C signing. I'm not really too convinced with it. I mean, I do think he can do much, but he needs to kind of figure out what he needs to do, where he needs to play, because this Real Madrid team has too many players that they need to squish into the team, and they still need a creative midfielder. Maybe he can be that for them, and Carvajal comes back in. But it's interesting to see what happens. Interesting there. Zubamendi, I think is a really class signing for Arsenal. Obviously, I don't like really Arsenal that much. We saw at the weekend against Liverpool that they're not really a team that's going to challenge or play for 3 points. They're going to sometimes sit back with Declan Rice and Zubamendi, and I think Zubamendi really gives them that edge, that defensive presence, while also giving them capabilities to build out from the back and pushing Declan Rice higher, so he's not really maintaining the workload of being an 8 and a 6, and they can both be a box to box with the 10 going up for them. So I will put that as a B. I do think that is a better signing than most people give it credit for. Next, we have Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid. I'm not even going to say anything about that. What a player. What a player. He's 50 million is a bargain, I think, for him. Really, really, really good player, really talented. I think he's really somewhat grown into a mature position in the team from the two games that I've seen and in the Club World Cup. And he's only been at the club for 2 months. I'm really impressed with what I've seen with Dean Huijsen. He was really good at Bournemouth as well, so there's not really too much to be said about him. Now, this next Donny over here, Jeremy Frimpong, what a prat. I think this guy is one of the most overrated right backs I've ever seen in my life. You guys know Mikhailo Mudryk, a speed merchant that's not really good with the ball. That's literally Jeremy Frimpong, but he's a right back instead of a left winger. I don't really want to speak too much on Jeremy Frimpong. I'm not really convinced by him. We saw the two games. I'm not really convinced with Liverpool as a whole, including Kirkes. We see Kirkes right here. I'll put him as a D as well. I'm not really convinced by these two overrated centre-backs. I'm not here to hate. I'm just here to give my opinion. This is Dennis Talks Football at the end of the day. But these two, I'm not really convinced what they're able to do. I think Szoboszlai has really done numbers at right back, but Jeremy Frimpong will obviously come back in and be the starting position. But enough said about those two Liverpool Donnies. We've got 30 more Liverpool signings to go anyways. They made 50 signings this year. Spent 100 million trillion pounds. So, then again. Jonathan Tah, I think it's a somewhat decent signing for for Bayern Munich. I'm not really too into the Bundesliga. I'm trying to get more into it, more knowledgeable about what's going on there. But he's obviously part of this Leverkusen side that went undefeated 2 years ago. That has somewhat been taken apart by every other club in the world. Um, and I'm not really too much, but I know he's a quality player, and I know that he'll bring good stuff to Bayern Munich. But the place where Bayern Munich really want to do good stuff is in the Champions League. So we'll have to see what he does in the Champions League. And their first game is against Chelsea at home. So it's interesting to see what he'll be able to do against the likes of Joao Pedro and Cole Palmer if he comes back. My God, I forgot his name. Mateus Cunha to United. I think that's a B. It could be an A, but I think it's a B for now. He's not really shown too much, but he has shown flashes in the Fulham game, in the him and Mbuemo in the Fulham game. He was really good. He could have had a hat trick. Cunha in the Arsenal game where they should have got something, not 0 points. He was really good. Obviously, we don't talk about the Grimsby Town. That is not something United fans want to remember. But I do think Cunha will be able to do lots of stuff. These are predictions at the end of the day. And I'm convinced with what he was able to do. He's able to carry that Wolves side from relegation, a team that's not really convincing, and we've seen what they've been able to do without Cunha in the team or Aït-Nouri in the team. They're not really a good side. Next, I got Liam Delap to Chelsea. I think it's a B signing. I think Chelsea were able to really repel him or pull him in, despite interest from the clubs like Manchester United and other clubs. I think he's a really just organic striker, born and bred in the muscle of just being a Drogba-esque striker, strong. He's going to be a rat. He's going to piss the team off. I remember when he played Chelsea, when he was at Ipswich, he was really bugging me. He was irritating me as a fan, just seeing him rile the team up, push players in the back. He's gonna be someone that's gonna get on your nerve. But he's really strong, really direct. Just wants that type of clean strike into the top corner, into the bottom corner, hard, low power. And I do think he's just an out-and-out classic striker that we haven't seen in a while. Besides Haaland, just one of those old, organic strikers who's born to score goals, born to have an eye for the net, so to speak. Tajani Reinders, I think, is also a B, if not an A, but I'm going to put him at B because he's not really impressed in the past 2 games. I mean, he was somewhat good in the Brighton game, but they did lose that game, so obviously he was really good against the Wolves game, but let's not really over-exaggerate Wolves because, I mean, Madueke scored a hat-trick against Wolves, and he scored again against Wolves. He scored 6 goals in the Premier League last season, and 4 of them were against Wolves. So you could say they're a bit of a farmer club. But Tajani Reinders, I think he'll be a good player. I didn't really see too much of him at Inter. Oh my God, Inter, what have I said? AC Milan. But that team has been blown up and rebuilt together somewhat not well. It's interesting to see what he'll do. Aït-Nouri, I think, is also a C tier signing. Is one of those free type of Jack Grealish type of free players that loves to be free, loves to get up, loves to move. And Pep Guardiola is going to restrict that. And we've seen Manchester City's defense. It's really shite. Really not good. Really, really unstable. Really just not where it used to be, to be honest. And Aït-Nouri is a part of that back four that isn't really doing too well. I have to be honest. I know who his name. I know what his name is, but I have forgotten him. And he has played well, but I'm not too familiar with him. Juan Garcia was absolutely amazing. I mean, based on that game alone, where the Barca drew 1-1 with I forgot the team, but they drew 1-1. That save where he saved the tap in, phenomenal. Not even going to say any much. Verts is a CT signing. I've never seen a Bundesliga player as a central attacking midfielder come into the Premier League and be good. Xavi Simons, I'm not convinced. In Nkunku, we saw what he did. Kevin De Bruyne is the only central attacking midfielder that I've seen do good in the Premier League. Kai Havertz, another example. The Bundesliga does not translate well into the Premier League. It's just something that I've seen. The odd ones, Gundogan, Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, these are all players that have translated into the Premier League based off the top of my head. But from what I've seen, he's not really been able to do anything, man. I mean, £150 million. He's not really able to do that much so far. £150 million, £105 million. He's not really able to do too much so far. So I'm not really convinced, to be honest. Ryan Shirky is also a C tier signing. I mean, he's obviously a really creative player, but unless Pep gives him that freedom where he's allowed to do whatever he wants, go wherever he wants, find the space, find the pockets like De Bruyne was, it's not going to be a good signing. It's just simple as that. You're not going to find people that are always going to fit into a Pep Guardiola team. It's just not going to happen. Dzeko, I think it's a D tier signing. He's obviously good, but not too much to see. We get that. He's about like 38 years old. Leroy Sané was also maybe like a C tier signing. He's past his prime, and going to the Turkish league. I don't know why he's done that, but it's interesting to say. Joe Bellingham, I think, is also a C tier signing. He's not to the level of his brother, but he's also a really good player. And I don't know why he's gone to Dortmund. I think he should have stayed at Frankfurt, to be honest, because then he would have been able to get more space, more get the media off of him in a sense that he's not really following in his brother's footsteps. Ansu Fati, I think might be a B. It's depending on what he does, to be honest. We haven't spoke the name of Ansu Fati in a long time, so it's not really much to be said. I think he might be able to produce in Liga, but we'll have to see. Kepa is a D tier signing. Christian, I'll do all but Arsenal two right here. And the Christian Nalga guy is a Donny is a C tier signing. It's just backup players, not really too much you can think about. These are just backup players that are here if someone gets injured. Not really too much you can do. Paul Pogba, I think, is a C tier signing as well. I know I'm just chucking players in C because it's not average, it's not amazing, but it's not great either. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what Paul Pogba does. He's obviously an amazing player on his day, but how many times is going to be on his day? He's almost, I think, above 30 now, and he hasn't played football in about 3 years. Not much to be said. Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, this guy's still, he could still probably be in his prime, man. This guy's an absolute baller. He's so good. And we saw him and McTominay are absolutely amazing. I don't know what happens when a player leaves Manchester United and they just turn into the best player in the world, or one of the best players in the world. He won MVP last year, McTominay, but we're not here to talk about McTominay. That was last year's transfer. I think De Bruyne just brings them an amazing link up. If Lukaku wasn't injured, then they might have been able to be one of the best cam striker duos in the entire league. De Bruyne is just one of the best players I've ever seen in my life with my two eyes, to be honest. Giroud, obviously I know who Giroud is, but I'm not really too familiar with what Lille and Giroud have been up to these days, so I'm just going to put it into the I don't know category. I know this is a bit biased, but give me a little bit of leeway. This is maybe one of the signings of the summer right here. Joao Pedro to Chelsea. Oh my God. Really just one of the greatest signings of the window, I think. I mean, you saw what he did. He was on the beach. He came to the Club World Cup and he scored 3 goals in 2 games. I'm not counting the game that he was a sub on for 20 minutes. He scored 3 goals in 2 games. He comes on. I know they're friendlies, but they're friendlies against Bayer Leverkusen and AC Milan. He scores 2 goals there. He doesn't do anything against a low block Crystal Palace team, which is understandable. It's a low block team that came there to defend, and they got the job done. They got the 0-0 draw. Then he comes in the West Ham game. He scores a goal and 2 assists. And he comes in and he scores another goal in the Fulham game. This guy's just scoring almost every single game. And he's just a wonderful player. Wonderful. Can play in the 10. Can play as the left winger. Can play as the striker. Can play behind the striker. Second striker. What an amazing signing for £50 million. What an amazing signing. John Duran is a D signing. Really too much attitude problems that I've heard of. And after Mourinho got sacked, he was already beefing with Mourinho on like the second day. So not really too much to be said. Jamie Gittins, I think, is a C tier signing. I know the Chelsea fans will be quite upset or maybe feel connected with me here. But I do really think that Jamie Gittins is raw, really, really raw. We saw in preseason some glimpses, and then somewhat he's lost his confidence a little bit because Maresca's bringing him off the bench. But I'm really excited to see what Jamie Gittins is able to do, man. He's a really exciting prospect, and I'm just really interested to see what he's able to do. Jonathan David to Juventus, I think is a B tier signing. They've needed a striker for a while, and now they're stuck with almost 2 or 3 strikers. No, because they don't have Colomani anymore. So Blahovic and Jonathan David, I think he's been at Lille for almost 4 years, linked with a move everywhere, and then just stays. So he's finally got his move. I'm not really too familiar with Juventus recently because they're not really as good as they used to be. I'm not that I only follow good teams, but it's just Juventus don't really interest me because they just draw every single game. Enough said. Ciro Immobile, I'm not really to Bologna. I'm not really keeping up with what that's supposed to be. Not really up with Ciro Immobile. Last time I remember, he was playing at Napoli. Oh no, oh my god, not Napoli, Lazio. Wow, I made a nick of myself there. Kyle Walker to Burnley. I think this is a really, really just good signing because it brings experience into this Burnley side that want to stay up. Obviously, he's past his prime, but this Burnley team really needs that leader, that captain, even though he's just come into the team. That captain is really needed, and I think he gives him that, which is why I just put him into a B. Wow, there's a lot of signings here. Um, I'm gonna have to go rapid fire for the people that I'm not really too sure on. Like Teo Hernandez, I think it's just a D signing. He's gone to Saudi Arabia. Anthony Elanga is a B signing. He's really good for them. Newcastle, he's played really well so far, so I'm really convinced to see what he's able to do. This is I don't know. I'm sorry. Cesc Fabregas Paredes to a Argentinian team. Don't know, to be honest. C. I forgot this guy's name, from Benfica to Real Madrid. He's played pretty well so far, so I'll give him a C. Kudus is a A tier signing for Tottenham, or maybe a high B, low A. I'll just put him in A because the Spurs fans will be happy if I do. Kudus is a baller, man. He's just so good. Luka Modric is a B tier signing. If he was maybe 5 years younger, I would give him an A or an S. If not an A, to be honest. But I think Luka Modric is a B tier signing. He gives that. I don't know if he can replace the Johnny Reinders at the age that he's at, but he really gives them stability and a captain's armband as an experienced player who's maybe one of the best midfielders of all time. Up for debate, but I think he is. So, and that's going to be great help for this team. This AC Milan team that's trying to rebuild. Georgi Petrovic is I think a C tier signing for Bournemouth. He was really good at Chelsea. I don't know why we let him go, but enough said, to be honest. I forgot this guy's name as well, but he was pretty good against Liverpool over the weekend, so I'll put him in C. Bobby Firmino, again to Saudi Arabia. Not really much said. Kokchu to Besiktas, again to Saudi Arabia. These kind of retirement type of teams. Madueke D. Don't even. He wants to go and see. I'll let you go and see, Nonny. You want to go and see? I'll let you go and see. I mean, £50 million for a player that scores 6 goals and 4 of them against one team. Enough said, to be honest. I'm not really a fan of Madueke. Dribble, cut back, dribble, cut back pass, dribble, cut back pass. I mean, you can literally predict as a spectator what he's going to do, and you can get it right 80% of the time. I'm not really a fan of Madueke, what he's going to be able to do. Kyle Walker Peters to West Ham. I think it's just a CT. It's just depth, to be honest. I mean, he's not even starting. They got Wan-Bissaka. It's just depth. Mbeumo, A-tier signing. Wow, he is so good, man. Wow, this guy's really, really, really good. I almost put him in my FPL, but I didn't. I got Joao Pedro in there, obviously. I mean, yeah. DePaul on loan. Not really much to be said. Ekatike, this guy is someone that I really wanted to talk about. He's really good, man. I think he might be one of the signings of the summer as well. This guy's has 4 goals in 4 games, I think. 3 goals in 4 games. Wow. he it's not even the goals, it's just he links up with the team so well, and I'm really just impressed with what I'm able to see from him, to be honest. Osimhen, I'll say he's an A-tier signing for the team. He's obviously a really good player, but he's wasting his talents at Turkey. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? He should have just joined Chelsea. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Marcus Rashford, I think, is a B signing. You never really know with Rashford. You could be one of the best wingers in the world, or he could be a flop. This is just me shooting a shot in the dark with Marcus Rashford. I mean, what am I supposed to do? It's really impossible to see what he's able to do. Aubameyang to Marseille, I think it's a pretty good signing. Not really kept up with what he's done since he left Chelsea, to be honest. Yeah, Gyökeres, I think, is a C tier signing. I don't think he's going to be that good. Let's be real. I mean, Darwin Nunez scored so many goals in the. It was the Portuguese league called. Oh my god! Wow. But Darwin Nunez scored so many goals in the Portuguese league. He came into Liverpool. What has he done? Or what did he do? Nothing. Gyökeres scored 2 goals against Leeds, a newly promoted side. Did his little hair flick in the mask, and people think he's back or something. He was never here. To be honest, I'm not really up with Gyökeres. I have to be real. Yeah, not really too convinced. And then the other 2 games, he didn't even have a shot on goal. I have to be honest, I don't know who this is. I have to keep up with Serie A a little bit more. Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich, 80th signing. He's just a baller, man. 70 M's is a kind of a class signing, to be honest. 70 M's is really, really good. That's just what I think, to be honest. James Trafford, I think, is a C. I would have been a B, but they brought Donnarumma in. Not really too much to say. Xhaka to Sunderland, I think, is a B signing for the team. It brings them a captain's experience. Brings them a shoulder for the players to go around, and I'm really happy for that. Joao Felix, if there was a Z, I would put it in there. What a waste of a career, man. What a waste of a career. I think this is also a D. Aaron Ramsdale, a C to Aaron Ramsdale to Newcastle. Not really much to be done, to be honest. He's come as a backup. And I remember when this guy was starting as Arsenal's number one. Palhinha, I think, is a B. If he's able to recreate what he did at Fulham, at Tottenham, then Tottenham have got a really class player on their side. But is he going to be able to do that under Thomas Frank? We'll see. Thomas Muller. I mean, yeah. This will go under the radar. I think Jero Hato to Chelsea's 80th signing. This guy is one of the best young left backs / centre backs in the world. And I do think he's great depth for Cucurella, but he's also this guy captain Ajax at maybe 16, 17. He's a wonderful player, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to do. Darwin Nunez getting the bin, man. Heung-min Son, I'll put him in B because it's good for the team, and I like Sonny. Armando Broja, I think, is a C. He's been on constant loans, and now he's at Burnley. I hope he finds a home, to be honest. Miguel Martinez, I think, is a B tier signing. He's so good for Barca last season, and I don't know why he's left. Maybe for the money, I guess. I mean, why is it ever not for the money? Morata, I think, is a C tier signing. This Donny from Bournemouth, I forgot his name. I think he's also really good. Similar levels, Hoyson, so I'll put him in B tier. Really excited to see what he does at PSG. PSG's new goalie, I forgot his name, but he was pretty average, to be honest, in the Super Cup that I watched and in the games that I watched in League One. Not really too much else to be said. Benjamin Sesko, I'm not even going to say anything about that. You buy a striker and then you don't play him for 4 games. It says enough, to be honest. This right here is an underrated signing. I think James McAtee is one of the Cole Palmer type of signings where maybe he's not as good as Cole Palmer, but he's really under the radar like Cole Palmer. And I'm really excited to see what he's able to do. Jack Grealish, this is my second S tier signing for the team, for the way that the team functions. I mean, you just see the old Jack Grealish is back, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to do. Kingsley Coman, D. I mean, it's Saudi Arabia. Eze, this is another A signing. I know he's older, but Eze's a baller, man. He's so good. I hope Arteta doesn't restrict him at all and just gives him the freedom that he had at Crystal Palace, and then he'll be a really good player, just a joy to watch, to be honest. Nico, that is Nico. No, that's not Nico Paz. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. To Everton. Douglas Luiz to Nottingham Forest. I think this one will go under the radar. He's obviously Premier League proven, not Serie A proven. He didn't do anything in Serie A, but he's Premier League proven. So that is something that will be good. I'm sorry, I don't know who this is. Carney Chukwuemeka will be a CT signing for Dortmund. They already have Joe Bellingham, so I don't know what more they need for him. Christopher Nkunku, watch this one. This is an A-tier signing for AC Milan. Christopher Nkunku will be back to being one of the best players in the world at AC Milan. I'm really sad that it didn't work out at Chelsea, but it is what it is, to be honest. He's a really good player, and just I hope he gets back to the respect he deserves. Waltermar, I think, is a B. I can't really say I've seen too much of this guy. He's just spawned in. I feel like he's just come out of nowhere in a transfer window. Same goes for Garnacho. Not saying doesn't go for Garnacho, is like in the sense that I don't know who he is, but he'll have to prove himself, to be honest. If I have to be real, Shimikas to Roma. I think it's just a C-tier signing. It's one of those things that just happens. I don't know who this is, to be honest. Donnarumma to Manchester City is a B-tier signing. They obviously needed a new keeper. Shipped out Edison, brought in Donnarumma. I don't think he'll be much different to what we saw with Edison, but it's interesting to see what he'll be able to do with playing out from the back, because I know Luis Enrique had problems with that. So it's interesting to see if Manchester City just bought a player because of the name. Rabiot, C. Isak is the big one, I think. Not S, but A. Because how are you going to play Ekatike and Isak at the same time? How is that going to work? I don't know how it's going to work. I'm not the Liverpool manager. Thank God I'm not the Liverpool manager. I didn't get 50 players in for a transfer window. Good luck, Arne Slot. Manchester United's new goalkeeper. I have to say I don't know. I really just don't know. Could be the best goalkeeper in the world. Could be the worst. Asensio, I'll put in a D because he's old retirement type signings. Xavi Simons will be a B tier signing. Nowhere near S, nowhere near A. Another Bundesliga type player. Obviously, I'm upset he didn't join Chelsea, but we also just made him wait for 20 years and then didn't give him the contract, so it's kind of on us as well. Harvey Elliott, C. Carlos Soler to Real Sociedad, I'll put it as a C. This one will go under the radar. I think this is an A tier signing. Yeah. Hoyland will prove the haters wrong this year. Watch my words. Lindelof to Aston Villa. I think it's a B tier signing. He gives them pretty good depth. Nicholas Jackson is actually a B tier signing, if not A, for Bayern Munich. He gives them really, really good depth, and I think Jackson will bang in goals and be really good learning under a really good player like Harry Kane. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson comes in and plays really well. Anthony, you can say it's a B for the team. Akanji to Inter Milan, I think it's a B. He gives them strong depth, strong solidity at the back. I'm sorry, I don't know who this is. Zinchenko to Nottingham Forest. I mean, Zinchenko's been at Arsenal for like 5 years now. Wasn't really too convincing at Manchester City, so I guess he's found his level at Nottingham Forest. Wissa, I think, is a C. I think people are a little bit overhyping Wissa, but I'm obviously still interested to see what he's able to do. The guy from Leverkusen to Arsenal, I'll just put him at B because I haven't seen really too much of him, I have to be honest. Yeah. Openda to Juventus, I think it's a C. Yeah, I don't really watch too much Juve. Mark Gu to Chelsea, I think it's a C as well. I mean, he's not really played too much against with Maresca in the team, so yeah. But Ederson's career is over to D signing. Laporte to Real Athletic Club, say to C. Ben Chilwell is just getting loaned out. and it's just Chelsea's sister club. It doesn't really mean anything. Jamie Vardy to an Italian team whose name I forgot. I'll say it's a C. Alexis Sanchez fell off the face of the earth. He's not. I'll say it's a D. Colin Mwani is also a C, overrated player. I'm not really too convinced what he's able to produce. So yeah, this one is actually under the radar. I put Jaden Sancho as a B. Jaden Sancho is a B signing. I think he'll do pretty good under Unai Emery. So but then again, I don't know. I'm just predicting. Sofyan Amrabat to Real Betis. I'll say it's a C, and Victor Boniface to the German club's name, who I forgot. I'll say it's a B. Yeah. So there you have it, guys. I have three S tier signings for this summer. I didn't want to make too many S tier signings. I have a couple of A, a couple of B, a lot of C, and loads of D, but mostly D retirement. Not really too many bad signings this year. I think most people are going to do really good for their clubs. If you have any other opinions, let me know down in the comments. But this was Dennis Talks Football's review of the 25-26 summer transfer window. And I'll see you later. Cheerio.